Treasury yesterday announced a 4.9% increase in excise duties on alcohol and tobacco in the budget speech yesterday. So what is the response from liquor traders? Let's speak now to the convener of the Liquor Traders Association, Mr. Ntimane joins us now. Mr. Ntimane, a good morning to you. Welcome to the agenda. We really appreciate you giving us your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity as always.
4.9%, an increase there in line with expected inflation coming out of the finance minister yesterday. I want to go through some of the numbers. A 340 milliliter can of beer increases by 10 cents. Some of the more drastic ones are a 750 milliliter bottle of spirits increasing by 3 rand 90 cents. 23 grams cigar goes up by 5 rand 47. What do you make of those numbers?
In the whole, we welcome the budget speech by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ntimane. We feel that, he managed to juggle the balls very well. This budget speech augurs very well, for the growth of the tavern sector. We feel that also because the rise in excess duty is in line with inflation, it will also help us in our fight against illicit trade of alcohol, which enables people to buy alcohol, which is very dangerous and illegal at a much cheaper price. So now with the price increase that we've seen, that is going to come in effect as a result of this excess duty, it will allow us to price our products accordingly, but also being able to compete with those unscrupulous dealers that are selling alcohol that should not be on the streets, that should not be consumed by our traders or by our consumers. So we feel that this is a well-balanced budget, and we welcome that the minister is able to give us space to engage with him. He is a very open minister, and we always have an ability to reach out to him when we need assistance. And in this regard, he has responded to our call to ensure that our excess duty is in line with inflation, and we appreciate that.
Well, you released a statement yesterday right after the budget speech, and in it you've made some calls as well to government and the finance minister. I spoke to an economist earlier, Ndumiso Hadebe, and one of the things that he's touched on is that this was really a budget that was focused mainly on prioritizing the electricity crisis. Well, you've brought that up, saying that load shedding continues to restrict the business or the operations of businesses that are in the liquor industry. What do you think we should be doing to mitigate that?
Yes, certainly the load shedding is affecting our businesses, and we're not the only businesses that are being affected by load shedding. I think this is an issue that affects all South Africans, as it were. Our ability to trade is restricted severely. Almost we lose about 8 hours of trading per day, meaning that we're not able to sell as much as we like to, and this hampers our ability to put food on the table. But be that as it may, we are a resilient sector, and we have to make do with what we have. And we've made a call to government in order to cushion against the blows of this load shedding that we need to suspend the license renewal fees that are payable. Some of the taverns in other provinces pay as much as 5,000 rand per year to renew their liquor licenses. So we're saying let us put a moratorium on those so that we can focus on getting our businesses back on track. We can manage having to trade under the restricted hours that are bedeviling us as a result of the load shedding. But also important as well, government needs to abolish the apartheid era laws which prevents liquor traders from accessing funding from government agencies. For example, if you run a liquor business, you cannot get a loan from SEDA or SIFA or any government loaning funding agency because we are seen as a sin tax. Government needs to seriously look into that. We cannot continue to be punished after apartheid with apartheid laws. It can't be, and we need to be able to deal with that, government.
You've talked about, I suppose, a suspension of the liquor licensing process. How then do we deal with illicit activity in the industry? And we certainly see a lot of it. And I don't know if we're able to have a conversation on what we do around licensing when you do have tragedies that we've experienced in the country, such as in Enyobeni.
I think what we need to do is to ensure that we secure the legal market and protect the legal market. We need to support liquor traders by ensuring that they don't have to carry the burden of having to renew liquor licenses with the funds that are restricted as a result of the street trade that we see. We are not selling as we used to be because of the load shedding. So government needs to take that into consideration. The only support we're asking from government at this stage is that suspend liquor license renewal fees, and secondly, look into the issue of removing the apartheid era law, which prohibits liquor traders from accessing loans from government funding agencies. But coming back to the point that you have highlighted of illicit trade, it is a much bigger problem. The illicit alcohol in South Africa amounts to 20 billion rand per year, and it is growing. The guys that are in this space have now created route to markets, meaning they've got customers that are well established and they're servicing those customers. Hence, we're making a call to liquor traders that they need to desist from buying liquor from people that are not reputable, from suppliers that are not reputable, but also making a call to consumers to say, do not buy alcohol that is cheap. If something is cheap or it is too good to be true, it certainly is. And we are worried that the liquid that is inside this counterfeit alcohol is harmful and dangerous, and it should not be consumed by any human being.
One last question before I let you go. In my conversation with the economist earlier, one of the things we touched on was that job creation really wasn't a big feature of this budget speech, and that, again, the priority was very much on mitigating the effects of the electricity crisis. But it is an important thing to talk about in South Africa, and the liquor industry has a massive visibility in our communities, to the extent that it may not even have the best reputation. But what is the industry's contribution, then, at the very least, to job creation in our communities?
So if you look at the taverns at its current state, we employ over 200,000 people across our tavern sector and value chain. But also what we have done in the past few months is that we have introduced the food offering in our taverns, which will also improve in terms of adding into the numbers of jobs that we need in our communities. So overall, we are looking at having a job profile of about 500,000 people employed by our industry. And what we are doing to ensure that to achieve that is to introduce food pairing, make sure that all taverns that we have in South Africa are able to sell food. That will mean that we have to hire people that are going to come and cook, that are going to serve, and those that are going to be at the tills. This will, for us, improve our businesses, but also contribute to the responsible trading agenda, but also position taverns as places where people can go and have a meal and not necessarily have alcohol. We need to be able to change the face of taverns. And we feel that introducing food and ensuring that taverns become destination points will ensure that, we are seen in communities as playing our part, but also contributing positively in ensuring that we create jobs, but also play a meaningful role in society.
All right, let's leave it there. Mr. Ntimane, thank you so much for your time. That there is Mr. Lucky Ntimane, convener of the Liquor Traders Association.